Soft White Underbelly is a YouTube channel created by photographer Mark Laita, where he interviews individuals from marginalized communities, often those facing struggles like addiction, poverty, or homelessness. The channel's raw and unfiltered approach aims to shed light on personal stories, highlighting the challenges these individuals face. However, the content has sparked both praise for its candidness and criticism for the ethical implications of showcasing vulnerable people in such intimate settings. Hi, my name is Tyler. If you're new here, welcome. Subscribe on your way in, and if you're not new here, hi, welcome back. In today's video, I wanted to discuss a specific interview from Soft White Underbelly where Mark interviews a young lady named Lilly. Lilly is a young woman from Texas who is currently living in Los Angeles. In her interview on the channel, she opens up about her difficult life, sharing her experiences of couch surfing in a dangerous area of LA, working the streets as a prostitute to survive, and navigating the challenges of living without the protection of a pimp. While the interview doesn't go into specifics, Lilly speaks candidly about the vulnerability she faces daily in such an unsafe environment. Her story is one of hardship, resilience, and survival in a harsh reality. I've never watched any videos or productions from this channel before. While I've seen it on my feed, I haven't clicked on it because this kind of content can sometimes be overwhelming for me. With that in mind, I only watched a small portion of the first video in the interview series. However, even just a few minutes of the first interview with Lilly were unsettling, not in the way you might expect. What disturbed me the most was that Mark seemed to be victim blaming Lilly as she shared her story. At times, he would even cut her off or interject just as she was beginning to open up.
Yeah, not right around
anywhere south of the 10 freeway. Yeah. You're in the wrong neighborhood, darling.
Yeah.
Maybe some areas, Culver City or something, would be safer for you, but you're in the heart of it. You must like the trouble. I've learned by now. I've done so many of these talks. I've learned by now that young women like you.
Yeah, I'm just going to mute the audio because you can see here this is the face of a girl who does not give a fuck about the next couple of seconds as what this guy has to say. I don't care what anyone says as well. It does not make you an expert because you have enough money to hire people off of the streets to do interviews with in regards to their life. Saying that you have experience just because you interview multiple people is actually insane. It's similar to someone saying they're a professional lawyer or an established lawyer just because they watch a bunch of court dramas. Like, okay, Judge Judy, why don't you have a seat and pipe down?
Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
If he was an actual professional, then he would understand that there's a specific, more appropriate way of approaching this conversation, yet here we are. Lilly, again, goes on in regards to a very vulnerable discussion here, a story where she tells Mark basically that while she was at a friend's house freshening up, using the shower and the facilities, she ended up taking a unplanned sleep on her friend's couch. She describes herself waking up, not recalling falling asleep on the couch, but finding herself there when she did wake up. Lilly goes on to say that there was a cousin of her friend's boyfriend who was not allowed in the house because he, quote, does weird things. The specifics as to why he's banned from the house is unbeknownst to Lilly, but she understands that he is not allowed to access the house. However, Lilly woke up to a blanket pulled over her head. She goes into details about her assault, which I will not be sharing, but she says that she was physically punched in the face and the assailant pinned her down and sexually assaulted her. That's it. This is all she says, and this is Mark's response multiple times throughout the video.
You put yourself in a dangerous neighborhood, terrible, vulnerable situation.
Yeah.
And this guy did some terrible things to you.
Yeah.
Take responsibility for that. Don't put yourself in that situation anymore.
This can be incredibly re-traumatizing for Lilly and others who have gone through similar experiences, as it invalidates their feelings and reinforces the idea that they are to blame. Additionally, cutting her off or interjecting her during a vulnerable moment prevents her from sharing her truth fully, which adds to the emotional burden of an already difficult conversation. In one segment, he outright suggested that Lilly's personal decisions somehow led to her assault or implied that she had control over what eventually happened. This behavior is harmful to Lilly because it undermines her experience and shifts the blame onto her for something that was entirely out of her control.
And I do think, like, okay, maybe like this happened. I don't deserve any of it, you know? Like, and I'm starting to realize that, like,
You're waking up, maybe.
I did not deserve waking up to my face being punched in.
Well, no, you have to take responsibility for everything you do. Take responsibility for that. Don't put yourself in that situation anymore.
Yeah.
It not only disrespects Lilly's autonomy and voice, but also perpetuates a culture that minimizes the severity of sexual assault and its impact on survivors.
I think like just you'd be able to shower and change at your friend's house without being.
Yeah, but you're a small framed young female, so you're going to get taken advantage of by a big dude.
Yeah.
I'm a 6'4" guy, so I don't really, people don't jump me all the time.
Yeah.
Even though with a gun, anything could happen.
Yeah, trouble always. I don't know if it follows me or I
you attract
find
it. You look for it.
Or, yeah.
I'm telling you this. You are looking for it. I'm telling you. I do too.
Sometimes,
I'm guilty. I recognize it.
Sometimes, but other times, like.
This is also just victim blaming at its finest.
Yeah, you are.
But it's not like I look for it. It's just,
you do.
I mean, it happens and.
No, if you're in that neighborhood in the middle of the night, sleep on somebody's sofa or hanging out.
It was during the middle of the day.
That was during the day?
It was like 2 p.m.
You're kidding.
Like, I didn't, like I said, I didn't even mean to fall asleep.
You're hanging out in casitas, the gambling spots.
I keep touching this and I forget it's fractured.
For those who are unfamiliar, victim blaming is when people make the victim feel like they are at fault for something bad that happened to them, even though they didn't cause it. For example, if someone gets bullied and instead of blaming the bully, people say, "You shouldn't have said that," or "It's your fault for being there," that's victim blaming. It shifts the responsibility away from the person who actually did the harm. No one deserves to be hurt, and it's important to focus on the person who did the wrong thing, not blame the victim. Victim blaming can make people feel ashamed or guilty about something they had no control over, and it can stop others from speaking up about their own experiences. You can see here there's a couple of times where Lilly even seems uncomfortable, quiet, and still, and is refraining from filling the silence, I should say.
Yeah, that's how it goes in the...
A lot of attractive females do this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you get taken advantage of and used your whole life...
Did you get taken advantage of when you were like a teenager?
Yeah, when I was a little kid. Like, so, I don't know, you just kind of roll with the punches. But that's not okay, but...
It's not okay. Like at some point, you need to take responsibility for everything and just make better decisions.
Yeah.
And find things that excite you, because you can try to force yourself to not do these bad things, but eventually you'll fall back into it.
You need distraction, something.
You need to find something healthier too.
Yeah, I'm just honestly at this point, I think it's safe to say that Mark's favorite saying is take responsibility. Again, I have not checked out the other interviews he's done with individuals that he comes across and asks to come onto his channel. But if this is how he conducts himself in this one, I honestly don't doubt it that the other ones are kind of not too far behind as far as how he addresses his guests. I hope Lilly gets the help that she deserves, and I really do hope that she pushes through this phase in her life. I just think it could have been conducted better. I feel like his approach to the conversation could have been better. Honestly, I was gonna kind of deem it like, this interview as like, yeah, he has some faults. He says like the wrong things, and he's also, again, victim blaming. This could easily be flipped around. This could easily be fixed. But it really wasn't until the end of this interview that I felt 100% that Mark Laita is just something else. And he's honestly someone who should not be able to have this position where he's able to, talk with people, because this comment he makes towards Lilly towards the end of their interview is honestly just so fucking inappropriate.
So, I realize stuff as I'm talking to about it, so.
I'm just glad you're not pregnant.
I can't imagine, honestly, sitting there and having someone say such fucking insensitive shit to my face after going through what I've gone through and expressing that. Yeah, being pregnant is obviously a major concern after a sexual assault, and it's also a major concern given that in some regions, women's reproductive health care is limited, restricted, or has some, or is completely banned and not available at all. So yeah, if she was pregnant, she would have to carry that baby to term, and it would be an extremely traumatizing and unfortunate series of events, because who wants to carry their assaulter's child to term? I mean, seriously, like it's fucking sickening. It's ridiculous. So for him to say that is absolutely insensitive. And I don't doubt in my mind that these people are just walking dollar signs to him, given that he just has to pump out a video basically saying shit like this. Nothing that really contributes to the conversation, just very bland fucking statements. And it gets him millions of views. It gets him enough revenue so that he can make his own living, and also, again, pay these people off the streets to come in and talk for his channel, talk on camera for his channel. I mean, the fact that she even said, I thought I was going to get killed here or something early on in the interview, I mean, I kind of question that. I really do.
No kidding. And you're going to get killed one day.
Yeah, I thought I was going to get killed here. But
You've been there for how long?
I also looked up if this channel and Mark Laita as well had any controversies, and there's a lot. I mean, there's also this whole, it's not only the way that he talks to these people. I guess I'm not the only one who like really picked it up on this, and not just from this interview. I guess like other interviews. Like there's this one of like a 13-year-old prostitute who he apparently asked to deliberately come to the interview in a bikini top that was very transparent. And now when you look at the interview, he like had a blur out her breasts, and barely, but he tried to censor it because of how hard people came down on him. And then you have this, again, this is alleged. I don't know if it's true or not, but there was enough speculation on it that it has some momentum behind it. Not only like me mentioning the 13-year-old prostitute, but also the Whitaker family that initially helped Mark's YouTube channel take off. Apparently there was some issues with the GoFundMe that he had set up for them shortly after the interview that helped them gain finances well over the amount that they wanted to accomplish in order to help them in their living situation and etc. Apparently there was some issues in regards to how the funds were managed. I don't know if that was like intentionally, a shady thing on Mark's end, or if there was just an issue with the GoFundMe. Like, I don't know, but this guy does not have a good rap. I just wanted to also focus on this interview. If you guys are interested, I can dive into the other things in another video, but I just wanted to focus on this particular video. Tell me your guys' thoughts down below. I'm obviously open to what you have to say, because on my end, I'm really just not seeing the positive in this. I'm really not seeing positive anything. Let me know your thoughts down below. Let's have a discussion. Tell me what you think about how he handled himself in regards to conducting this interview with Lilly. I really appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.